Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we still continue with the recording on the future value of annuities or future value of annuity. 3.2 is the exercise that I am starting with now, and I'm planning to record 6 questions in under 3.2. In fact, 4 questions, then another one in 3.3, and also I think it will be 5 to 6 questions. But it says the information below refers to question A and B, and we can see that we do have question A and also question B. It says a person deposited an amount of 800 at the end of each month, and the minute the monthly deposits or payments or investments are made at the end of the month, we know that is an ordinary annuity. And these 800 payments were paid for 16 months into an account that earns interest at 9.5% per annum compounded monthly. So we are very clear that these amounts are the same, meaning it is a series of equal payments, and they are made on a regular interval, meaning in each and every month at the same interest rate, which is 9.5% per annum compounded monthly. So the minute is a series of equal payments made at regular intervals at the same interest rate, therefore now that becomes an annuity. And it continues by saying that what amount should be deposited into the account at the end of month 20. Take note of the fact that this series of 800 made in each and every month were made for 16 months. Then we are asked to calculate the amount, what amount that should be deposited into an account at the end of month 20, meaning there is money that must be deposited at the end of month 20 in order for the investor to have 30,000 at the end of month 30. So now, meaning we need to calculate the present value at the end of month 20 that will lead us to have the amount of 30,000 that we need to have after 16 payments of 800 were made. That means it's clearly telling us that the 800 that will be earning interest every month for 16 months, which will remain in the account after 16 months up until month 30, it is not enough for us to get to the amount of 30,000 that we need to have. So now that means there will still be a remaining balance that we need to raise. So let me just draw a line for you so that we can be very clear of what we're talking about. Month 1, month 2, month 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over this period of 16 months, an amount of 800 was paid. So for up to month 16, we paid an amount of 800. And it goes up to month 16. We paid 800. Now, from month 17, month 18, up to month number 30, there were no payments that were made, meaning there were no regular payments. We only paid 800 from month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to month number 16, paying the 800. So now, meaning the 800, we know that it is what we call an annuity. So now whenever the annuities stop, either because we stop making the payments or the annuity stop because there's a change in the interest rate, we always need to calculate the future value on the last deposit or on the last payment or on the last withdrawal, because we dealt previously also with withdrawals. So now that we will get to the future value of this 800, we know that this amount will remain in the account up until our focal date. I want to highlight that up until our focal date, because our focal date is month 30. We need to raise 30,000 by the end of month 30. But the future value of these payments of 800 after month 16 will remain in the account up until the focal date, which is up until month 30 being the focal date. So now we'll come back again to what I taught you previously, where the future value of these annuities or of these payments will then be converted into becoming the present value, because this amount will remain in the account earning interest every month. Remember, we are not making payments, but the amount is remaining in the account earning interest every month, compounding interest every month up until the end of month 30. Then after, we have to say, okay, we do have the future value of the payments, or of the payments as of 800 after they were left in the account from month 17 up until month 20. But this amount will not be equal the 30,000 that we need to raise at the end of month 30. Therefore, now that is where the question says, what amount should be deposited into the account at the end of month 20 in order for the investor to have 30,000 at the end of month 30? That means we need to say this future value minus 30,000 that we need to have. So the remainder will be the amount that we need to have as the balance, so that we end up having the 30,000 that we need at the end of month 30. Therefore, now we need to calculate the present value of that amount, which is the amount that will need to be invested at the end of month 20. Yes, I'm still explaining some of the things, but I will be doing them practically now. So now let us then now go straight to in response to this question. Then we are looking for the future value on the last date of the payment. Then we say plus minus 800. Remember, this is an annuity, so the 800 is payments, PMT. Then payments is always whenever amounts are the same and they are paid at regular intervals. Then the interest is 9.5% divided by 12. Why divide by 12? Because interest is compounded monthly. So we divide by the number of compounds in a year, which is 12 compounds. Our N will be 16 because 16 payments have been made. And during the period of the 16 payments, there was no change of the interest rate. So we can calculate the future value for the 16 payments. So now let us calculate our future value. And remember, there is also an app calculator that I taught in the previous recording. I won't be going to it very regularly. Plus minus 800, press PMT, then 9.5 divided by 12, press I, then we say 16, we press N, then compute future value. The future value is 13,588 rand 81 cents. This is the amount that will be in the account at the end of month 16, meaning just after the last deposit. This will be 13,588 rand 81 cents just at month 16 after the last payment has been made. And I'll try to explain how to calculate the future value of an annuity without using a calculator later on in one of the questions, because we don't have to use a calculator, but for the fact that there are many number of payments that are being made, then it becomes more easier for us to use a calculator. Otherwise, we can calculate this future value without using even a calculator. Then we say this 13,000 is the balance that is in the account at the end of month 16. So now this amount will remain in the account month 17 earning interest, month 18, month 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, up until we get to month 30. So now this future value, we need to make it a present value. Why do we make it a present value? Because we are looking for its future value at the end of month 30. So now this will be the present value, where we say 13,588 rand 81 cents. Then we have to calculate the future value of this amount at month 30, which will be 30 minus 16, meaning starting from month 17 up to month 30 will be the number of months this 13,000 will be earning interest up to month 30. So now let us do calculate the future value of this 13,000. meaning how much will be in the account at the end of month 30. This is what is in the account at the end of month 16. Therefore, now we say plus minus 13,588 rand 81 cents is our present value, because we want to know how much will be this amount at the end of month 30, not only at the end of month 16. Then the interest is still the same, 9.5% divided by 12. Then our n will be, as I mentioned, it will be 30 minus 16, meaning starting from month 17. That is why we say minus 16. Then after we say comp future value, we want to know the future value. Then now again we have to say second function alpha 00 to clear the memory. 13 minus or plus minus 13,588.81 is the present value. 9.5 divided by 12 is our interest. 14 is n. Then we compute the future value. Now we get to the future value of 15,174 and 91 cents. And you'll see in the memorandum they will normally have headings here and say future value and month 16, future value and month 16, and this will be future value and month 30, or at month 30, at the end of month 30. So they always write those headings for your own understanding. I'm not writing them because I'm explaining what I'm doing. For the sake of the handout, they will always highlight that to you. So this is future value and month 30. And month 30, this is future value and month 16. And month 16. So these future values are for different purposes. At the end of the day, they lead us to the amount that we need. So now this is what is in the account, very important. This is what is in the account at the end of month 30. Now, how much do we need to raise at the end of month 30? We need to raise 30,000. This is what we need to raise, is 30,000. So now we are asked to calculate the amount that must be invested at the end of month 20 in order for us to get to that full 30,000. Now we say, okay, what we have in the account is 15,000. So we need to calculate the remaining balance. We need to calculate the remaining balance. The remaining balance is the amount that we need, which is 30,000, minus the amount that we have, which is 15,174.91, so that we can say how much that needs, or that still need to be raised. Is 30,000 minus 15,174.91. Then the amount that still need to be raised, it is 14,825 rand 9 cents. This is the remaining balance, or still to be raised. Still to be raised, meaning the amount that need to be raised in order for us to get to the 30,000 rands. So we still need the 14,825.09 in order for us to get to the 30,000 that we need. So now we are told that in order for us to raise this amount, we must not make monthly payments again. They said so. What must we do? We must invest a once-off amount, meaning a present value. When must this amount be invested? They told us that this amount must be invested at the end of month 20. So now that is what we are looking at. We must invest this amount of money at the end of month 20. What amount must be invested at the end of month 20 in order for us to have the 30,000 rands that we need? So now, in other words, we are saying by the end of this period, we need to raise the remaining balance of 14,825 rand 9 cents, because we already have 15,174.91. If that is very accurate, just to verify, yes, 0.91. This is what we have, but what we have is not enough. It's still short by 14,825. So now we need to invest money in month 20 so that the amount that we invest in month 20 becomes 14,821. So now that means the 14,825 is the future value, is what we need in the future. Therefore, now what must be invested presently, that is what we spoke about in the beginning, where we spoke about discounting the future value. In other words, we are discounting this amount. We say this is what we need in the future, but how much must we have at the end of month 20 so that it becomes 14,825 at the end of month 30. And the minute we have this amount, we add it to the 15,000, which was from the 800s of the payments. Then that will be a total of this amount plus this amount. It will be a total of 30,000 that we need at the end of month 30. So we say plus minus 14,825 rand 9 cents is what we need to raise in the future, which is at the end of month 30, as the remaining amount that still need to be raised. For us to get there, we will be earning interest of 9.5% every month. And now we need to invest money at the end of month 20. That means we need to say how long will this amount be in the account up until month 30. It will be 30 minus 20, then this will give us 10. It will give us 10. The reason why we're saying is 10, let us just verify that the payment will be at the end of month 20. That means we will start earning interest from month 21, not from month 20. Although the deposit must be done at the end of month 20, the interest will be earned starting from month 21. So now hence we say 21 up to 30 will be 10 monthly earnings of interest compounded every month. So now what are we calculating? We are calculating the amount that must be there at the end of month 20. So this is a present value at end of month 20. At end of month 20, this is the present value that we are looking for at the end of month 20. This is what we are calculating. So now we have to then use our calculator once again. Second function alpha 00 to clear the memory. Plus minus 14,825, 825, not 828, 14,825.09 is our future value. 9.5 divided by 12 is our interest. 10 is the number of months this amount will be in the account. Then we compute the present value. So in other words, we are saying 13,700 must be invested at the end of month 20. 13,796 cents must be invested at the end of month 20, so that it can earn interest every month up until month 30. And when it reaches month 30, it will become 14,825. Then I will say, okay, if we have 14,825, we need to add it to the balance that we have, which is the 15,000, which is 15,000 at the end of month 30, that was accumulated from our previous monthly payments of 800. So now when we add this balance at the end of month 30 and this balance at the end of month 30, we can see that their sum will give us exactly 30,000 that we need to have at the end of month 30. Yeah, this is just one of those lovely questions when it comes to annuities. And as more as we go, you will be seeing very similar questions that are similar to this, where you need to know how much must be invested now in order for you to get the difference of the remaining balance at the end of the focal date. What is important is to master the focal date. Focal date is the key. Know where your focal date is. Then the rest will be history. With that, guys, let us then look now at the next part of the question, which is number B. Number B is just asking us something very short, required to calculate the total interest earned by the investor. The total interest earned by the investor. Now we need to know how much did the investor invest first of all. We know that the investor invested 800 for 16 months. Then we need to say total investment. First I want to know how much is total investment. Total investment will be 13,700.96 plus, remember the 13,700.96 is what the investor will invest at the end of month 20, so that it can earn interest and become 14,824 at the end of month 30, meaning for a period of 10 months earning interest at 9.5% per annum compounded monthly. So meaning this is what the investor will invest at the end of month 20, and at the same time the investor has invested 800 for 16 months. So 800 times by 16 will give us another amount of money that the investor has invested. So 800 times by 16 months, it gives us 12,800. We have 12,800 plus 13,700 plus 13.7.96. That means the investor would have invested a total of 26,500.96 cents. Then how much did the investor have at the end of month 30? The investor had 30,000 at the end of month 30. So now we minus the amount, which is the accumulated amount, 30,000 rands that he needed, but he only spent out of his pocket a total of 26,500 rand and 96 cents. So that means the interest that the investor has earned over this investment will be a couple of thousands, which is 3,499 rand 4 cents. That will be 0.4 cents. Sorry for the space there at the bottom. So that will be the interest earned over this investment for the period of 30 months. If 800 is invested for 16 months and 13,700.95 is a once-off investment at the end of month 20 and is left in the account till the focal date of month 30 at 9.5% per annum compounded monthly. So with that, now that means we have covered 3.2 completely. Then now we are going to another information that will give us details regarding number C up to number E, still under 3.2. With that, guys, thank you as we continue.